Hey everyone, Edward Gills here. You're tuning in to the Unlimited Power Podcast.
On today's show, we're going to focus mostly on fitness and health and nutrition, right? So I'm going to let a couple of my guests here introduce us to the show, introduce themselves to this new show. So we're going to start off with you, bro. How's it going? What's your name? What do you do?
My name is Leroy White. I'm the founder of Global Fitness and Health Management, personal trainer.
Hey guys, my name is Alicia Lewis. I'm actually a luxury makeup artist here in South Florida. I do weddings, I do work that's published, a ton of different things.
Hi, my name's Allie. I work at FBU's Al TV, and I do freelance.
Hey all, my name is Ryan Sella. I also work at Al TV, and
All right. So you guys, what are you guys' favorite thing to eat? That's the first thing I want to ask. What's your favorite foods for today?
damn.
And if you have the answer, just go ahead and answer it. Favorite foods, yeah.
Breakfast.
Nah, just anything.
I like everything.
Okay. You like everything? Sounds like most of us.
I feel like I don't have a favorite thing to eat, but for the most part, I try to eat pretty healthy. I think what I eat is kind of a reflection of, how I feel too. So if I'm feeling like crummy, I'm going to be eating some crummy food. But for the most part, I do eat healthy food. So I like a lot of fruit, actually. A lot of like yellow fruits. And for some reason, I have a thing for waffles in the morning. So.
Oh. How about you, Allie?
I'm just an overall foodie. So my favorite things I like to eat, different types. I like udon noodles.
Udon
First thing
noodles.
comes to my head. Also like I love sweets. I like a lot of comfort food. I try to eat healthy, but life kind of happens.
Yeah, I like a good grilled cheese sometimes. Like for real, like just something simple, But the other day I had a steak salad or something. It was like,
A steak salad?
yeah, it was like like a little crumbled up like steaks or whatever. It was like at this, no, it was like it was a fancy place. It was like one of those wine restaurant kind of places. Yeah, no, yeah, we were eating out. And like it was a salad, and it was like a big salad. I couldn't finish the thing, but it was really good. But it's like one of those foods that like you can only eat like one time. Like you can't have like steak salad all the time. But
So, I mean, how many of you guys are eating salads on a daily basis? What do you put in your salads? For me, like, last time I had a salad, I added some cucumber, some spinach, carrots, all the good stuff. But you know what happened to me? I got super bloated. And I think that's the problem with, like, healthy eating is that sometimes it doesn't make you feel at your best state, even though it's cleaning out your system. So for me, when I eat, like, the good stuff after eating some, like, horrible things, it upsets my stomach because it's telling my body that, hey, you're not doing the right things, right?
Yeah.
So have any of you guys felt that way before?
Yes, I feel like I felt that way before, but I'm originally born in Jamaica, and our culture, it's like oxtail, curry chicken, and growing up all these years eating those type of foods, it's hard to like switch out of it.
For me, I think I've actually had an opposite experience because I don't know if you guys have ever really been on a track where you're eating healthy food. And when I say healthy food, I mean food, not just salads, not just fruit here and there, not just very small meals. A lot of people think eating healthy is about eating very small portions. But I mean healthy food like salmon, actually getting your greens, your veggies, all of your actual nutrition in. So if I have a meal that's maybe fish, green beans, asparagus, tomatoes, I don't know, something to that nature, and maybe some brown rice, I literally feel more energized as opposed to eating, of course, McDonald's and even eating foods that are heavier. So salads, I'm not a big salad girl. I actually like to eat, so I don't feel like if I eat a salad, oh man, I feel great for the day. I feel like if I eat, well-portioned meals, actually I'm lying because I be eating a lot too, but if it's good food, I'm fine with it, and it doesn't upset me, and it doesn't make me sleepy. A lot of times, they talk about getting the itis, and that usually comes from eating foods that aren't good for you. So if you eat a lot of healthy foods, then you actually have energy. That's what food is meant for, to give you energy.
You don't feel energized after eating like a Big Mac or something?
No, I feel
Man.
mad tired.
Yeah, I feel the same way. No, typically when I feel like I eat like a good meal, I'm like yes, and especially I know it's a little bit different, but like with like exercising as well. When you just have like a good like day, you just feel like so like I feel like proud of myself. I feel more hyper like or like more awake because sometimes I go to a gym or I used to do taekwondo. I would go there so tired, but when I come back, I'm like I'm ready, and but it'd be like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know if it's food that's just helping with my energy. It may, I try to eat like I think apples help me with energy for the most part. Just but then if you eat too many apples again, it just then it's a balance thing. So I guess I gotta find that. So it's like eating this thing here, and then maybe figuring out a rhythm. I think I got one now, which is that I'll eat like a kind of like nut based or like fruit kind of deal for lunch, and then wherever my mom makes, or like I'll have a heavy dinner, and then I'll kind of balance everything out. That's what I got for now. Still working on it. So yeah.
That's very interesting. For me, the other couple of days, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I've been on the move, and I've been eating some pollo, and that's
pollo tropical.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And so for some people, and the reason why I'm bringing this up and being honest is that some people think pollo is the most healthiest food you can eat. In fact, chicken is the most cancerous thing on the planet.
What?
Yeah. Because it's the way they treat the chickens and the factories. They're literally on top of each other, on top of their own remains. And it's really disgusting. And it's the most. Of course, they feed them corn, which is the most GMO'd product here in the U.S. So I made a vow to myself to lessen my pollo and only eat it like once in a while, and if that's only like my cheat days, right? So how many of you guys are thinking that pollo is actually healthy food? Like, what's your opinion on that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, mass-produced chicken cannot be great, for sure.
Yeah, for the most part, I feel like, I didn't know as in detail as you just explained it, but I definitely know that mass-produced chicken is not good for you at all. But I do know, like, chicken breasts, and especially when you get stuff from Whole Foods and things like that, when they're, I guess, like, naturally raised and raised on a good diet and no antibiotics and all that good jazz, that it's better for you. I actually have a few friends who are vegan, so, I don't know. I've been learning a lot in that sense, and I already kind of have a I guess, good representation of other foods, but definitely new information for me.
All right, that sounds pretty good. Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick break. I want you to listen to some music, get your ears ready, get your mind ready, because we're about to spit some knowledge. We're going to have a very good discussion coming up next. We're going to talk about, do you think that health should go on the burner, go down over self-worth, over self-love? Do you think that you should be more focused on appreciating your body how it is and not doing anything to change it? So that's the question of the day. That's what we're going to be talking about mostly. So stay tuned if you have an answer to this. How passionate are you with your goals, with your fitness goals? The thing I like most from artists and everyone that I listen to, like on the radio, is the fact that their passion really bleeds through their music. And a lot of times we're not really passionate about our health. We could be passionate about other things. I know we have, like Ali here is the most passionate person I know about video editing and learning media, and that's awesome, right? But how much attention do you put into like your actual health? And that's actually on the route that I'm on right now. And I'm not just speaking about working out because, hey, I know how to work out and I do that a whole lot, but am I really putting inside my body the things I should be, as far as like the nutrition and everything? So I think that's the biggest thing that you should think about, and that's the biggest thing I'm going to think about. How about you guys? What are you thinking about passion, and should you apply that in your nutrition as well?
Yes, you should. And I feel like when you're getting passionate, like my passion in fitness comes when I grew up being obese, and I started playing football. I lost all the weight, and I told myself this is the way. And ever since I started playing football, I really never took a break of working out. And I became real passionate about it. That's why I became a trainer also. to like share my passion with other people. Also, I want to share like globally like one day. And nutrition, yes, it plays a big part, but you can't just wake up and say you're gonna be a vegetarian. You know, it takes steps to start eating healthy.
What position you play?
Outside linebacker.
Nice. All right. Lineman.
Okay. O-line, D-line?
Both. I would always get squashed by the 250-pound monsters I would go up against. Yeah.
How about you, Ali? How about you? What you thinking about this?
You like work a whole lot on different things, but sometimes because I work so much on like film and editing and stuff like that, I kind of forget about eating healthy. I kind of go on like healthy. I'll try and eat healthy and stuff, and then all of a sudden, I eat Chick-fil-A at FAU, and then kind of downhill from there. But I think it's important, and but if you can't start with that, something I'm trying to do, you just try to eat like one healthy meal a week, and then you try doing one healthy meal a day and stuff like that, and slowly it could help you grow and be beneficial, because I know you can't just start with just as you said, like you can't just become a vegan the next day, because that's actually just not healthy for you in general. But if you just slowly take your time, you can work on it.
And another thing people could do to be like gain passionate about fitness is also like have a dream board where they could wake up every morning and have like a motivational quote to read, goals they want to accomplish for the week, so as like on a dream board they could put, I want to work out 3 times this week, I want to burn a certain amount of calories, and just attain small goals, weekly goals, and build that up, then become monthly.
Talking about passion, I feel that like, because I have a little thing at my house for like working out and stuff, and I have to be into it to work out. I can't just go through the motions and do push-ups and whatever. I have to want to do it, because I've done it before where I'm just on the treadmill and I go, why am I doing this? Because I'm not into it. I don't like doing like half speed workouts. I'm into because it's just how I've done workouts since I was like in middle school or whatever. I go all in on the workout, so I can't do half speed workouts. I have to be committed, but then at the same time I have to be committed all the time, and so that's tough to be committed all the time to do the workout. And so then that's when I fall behind, when I'm not committed to the workout. I have to have the passion to like, okay, I'm going to do this for 30 minutes, and like I can't say at 50 minutes not feeling it, because I'm just not feeling it sometimes. And so then I got to find the fire.
I was going to ask you, all right, so what motivates you to do anything? Like, what do you listen to certain music? Do you watch a certain movie? Like, what motivates you to get something done?
Man, honestly, I don't know. Just like, either something in the back of my head, something that like, I was like,
What gets me going is I find motivational videos on YouTube, like 4 or 5 minutes, and I'll watch that.
Like the ones that Ed makes.
See,
there you go.
Like music, seeing someone working hard, you're like, oh man, I guess I'm missing out. I'm gonna be just like that person in the video.
If you want a good movie to get you motivated, you should watch Whiplash. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Oh, man, yeah.
That's the one about like the drummer and basically his passion of wanting to be a drummer.
Oh yeah, I actually saw it. It was a really good movie.
That was really good. Like when I watched it, I was like, I mean, just for any type of passion you have, you kind of go like, man, I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Because he just commits. I mean, if anyone's ever seen it, he got into even like a car accident, he still went for it and everything. Like
that part of the movie was crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no, that was crazy. I mean, like the whole movie was just insane. But I think like you said, like different kind of things does get you passionate, and so
I feel like for me, at least where I am in my life now, they kind of go hand in hand, because I feel like my passion is beauty, my passion is makeup, but a lot of times you won't even see women makeup, because skincare for me is the most important thing. Like what's under the makeup is more important, but then even to take it a step further, what I put in my body affects how my skin looks. So it kind of works hand in hand. If I feed my body trash, then my skin is gonna reflect that. So what kind of helps me stay on track with that is starting off my day with something good. I know a lot of people say, oh, eat oatmeal in the morning, but if your oatmeal is boring, you're not going to want to eat it.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of people have problems staying on track when it comes to eating healthy, because they feel like healthy food is boring. But yeah, throw some agave or some blueberries or some bananas or something in the oatmeal to make it better.
Agave? Like
the sugar. Like the
Yeah.
sugar. Like it's basically like equivalent like honey.
Yeah,
Or you just also
but it
use maple
tastes
syrup.
a little different. Yeah,
That's always good in oatmeal.
exactly.
Mhm.
Try it.
I just put protein in my oatmeal.
It's really good. Yeah, no, I put protein. I put
Vanilla?
peanut butter. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling that
If
day
you want
and
caffeine, I bet you could put like coffee in there too.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or
I
I
you
think
can
that's
have.
good for you, like just regular.
Yeah,
like
But
coffee.
just in moderation as well.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I said early in the show, I really have a thing for waffles. I'll make protein waffles, and that starts my day off right. And sometimes I make this green shake, which it seems like, oh man, that sounds so bad. But literally, I put pineapples, peaches, actual like spinach, and mainly spinach and kale, and mangoes. And I'll throw some honey in there and some ice. Literally, that is like the potion for your skin and to get you active in the morning.
Okay.
Because yellow fruits, I don't know if you guys know this, but fruits that are yellow in pigmentation, naturally yellow, affect your skin. They make your skin look better. They make it look more vibrant. Things like that. It's certain, like, yo, God has just planted everything on this earth
I gotta
to
take some
heal
notes right now. Like,
all of everything that we can worry about, you know. So if you want naturally glowing skin, incorporate those fruits that are have a natural yellow pigmentation.
And drink water.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very, very,
I
very
mean,
important.
that's always most
And
important.
coconut water.
Right. When
Yeah.
when you drink, one thing that I did find out, when you drink water more often, you start to have a taste for it. So
Yeah.
now I have less of a taste for sodas and juices and more of a taste for water.
She really love water.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He knows.
Yeah, because I know soda is not good for you at all. Actually, my mentality of soda is, I go, why? Because there's like other good things to eat. I'm like, why am I gonna waste my? I can only eat like certain amounts of sugars and stuff. Why am I gonna waste on soda when I can eat something else to cheat my day on?
I'm
Because
gonna tell you guys something. Do you guys know that in different countries they make their sodas different, right?
yeah,
Like in Jamaica, it's not the same soda.
yeah,
It's not the same Coca-Cola as here.
yeah.
It's named Coca-Cola, the same company, but they have regulations.
Mhm.
Like it don't use any fake sugar and stuff like that
Yeah.
in Jamaica.
Yeah, in America, they're trying to kill us straight up.
And like, oh, diet soda, and then it's like even worse.
Yeah, right.
really?
Like,
Yeah.
diet
Yeah,
soda's
diet
soda is
so
worse
much
for you.
worse.
Well, I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah, diet soda is definitely worse for you. And I think it also gives you the impulse to have more soda because, well, it's just a diet soda. A lot of these things are not actually the things that are good for you, but the psychology behind that what happens to you as far as the consumer that's really the bigger problem. But diet soda is worse for you. Sweeteners are not as good for you either.
Right.
So like some people think, okay, sweeteners are gonna be healthier than sugar. No, it's not. You know, so I think we're steered all wrong within like the health industry, and nobody really like knows the complete information about like fitness, nutrition, and everything, because it's always been changing. The other day, I saw on the internet that coconut oil was bad for you, right? And that could be a propaganda right there. But is it true? Is it not true? What do you think?
I think coconut oil is actually good for you.
Yeah.
Big in Jamaica,
100%.
it's big in all the islands.
Yeah.
doesn't
Here's the
matter.
thing. Coconut oil does have a high saturation of fat. But depending on what your diet needs are, some people need fat. You can't just be throwing coconut oil on everything because too much of anything is bad for you. But it does have great health benefits. So people are looking at, oh my gosh, it has such a high amount of fat. But coconut oil actually does do good things for your body as well.
Same with like avocados and eggs. Remember the whole thing that like eggs weren't good for you, like the yolk of the egg, because of the cholesterol. But then they realized it's it's good cholesterol that you actually need. So like they always go through this like back and forth. So but with the coconut oil, I mean, for me personally, if you want to learn how to like not like, because I love to cook, so something that's really good to know is like it's just play around with your foods and oils, and oh, this oil is good, but I don't want to eat it all the time. Coconut oil is great for chicken and seafood and like vegetables, especially when you want a more, I guess you could say, summery kind of like lighter taste. Is good for that. But if you want something more, I don't know, like it's like Italian, you don't want to use coconut oil. It's not gonna taste good at all. You might want to do, maybe instead of doing olive oil, you always do grapeseed oil, things like that. So different types of oils really do help with your food, and you can always stay healthy with it. You don't need to do, the same thing all the time.
That's right. That's definitely true. And that's the one thing, like with me and my personal training clients, what she said about the vision board, I believe the psychology of fitness is the biggest thing. And actually that's what's going to be thriving in the fitness industry in next couple of years is the mind and nutrition aspect. However, what I realize is that one thing doesn't work for everybody. Like intermittent fasting doesn't work for one person. Eating all greens may not be great for one person. They might need some protein. They might need some meat sources in their diet because it's not practical. It's just like it's not just some things are also practicality, right?
There are people who eat all grains.
Greens,
Like-
greens.
Oh, greens.
Greens,
I thought you said all
greens.
grains. I'm like, you just eat bread? I'm like, okay.
No, that would actually be very bad for you if you
Yeah,
just ate all
that's
grains.
why I asked. I'm like,
Bread
Yeah.
and pasta, that's it.
yeah.
Yeah, so actually what I started doing now is called trial and error, right? So you do 21 days of a certain way of eating. And then you swap it out. So you see how your body feels. You have a vision board. You track down, okay, did I keep up with this? Did it make me feel fulfilled? Or did I feel like this was actually stopping me from being energized? So does it work for you or does it not work for you? And at the end of the day, you see, okay, how can I mix and match these different dieting methods for my own like benefit? And then you go on from there because like nothing really works just for one person. So let's go around the panel. Let's see what have worked for you guys, like as far as like what foods like have you eaten that you just felt like, wow, like I could actually do this over a long period of time and eat that type of food? Is it like more protein based? Is it more like did you have to supplement like other supplements like whey protein in your diet? I don't know. So what are you guys thinking right now?
You know, I'm still trying to come up with stuff. So, you know, I guess I'm still in the process of finding the rhythm as far as like stuff to eat. You know, whatever. My mom cooks very well as far as finding healthy stuff and healthy alternatives for us because, you know, my dad's trying to lose weight. I'm trying to cut back on stuff here and there. So, like, you know, she'll come up with something of like, instead of frying this, we'll slow cook this. Instead of doing this, we'll do that. So, you know, that's good. But you know, I'm still trying to find things here and there. You know.
Yeah. So pretty much my whole entire diet, like my life, I've pretty much been protein based because I hated vegetables when I was a kid. I tried growing up, and I tried eating them, and I just like that was me as a kid. I was just like the child that didn't like to eat that. So now that I'm an adult, I'm learning how to process and eat all of my as a fruits and vegetables pretty much. So I'm like I enjoy eating them now. So I'm trying to add them more and more into my diet. I guess if you say like certain like foods I can eat again and again, like my one vegetable I can always eat is zucchini. I love zucchini so much, and like you can do so many different things with zucchini. Like, and if you even want to do like the zoodles, you can cook them, you can bake them, you can stir fry them, you can do anything with those. So like that's a very beneficial, I think, food that's good for you, and you can do so many different. They're very versatile. So.
Didn't we actually have that at that when we went to the restaurant for the Boca Bite show?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, zoodles, yes. It was salmon zoodles. That's what it was. It was salmon with zoodles.
Yeah, one thing about going to different restaurants and talking about their foods is that I've realized that a lot of the healthy so-called foods that people think are like taste horrible, you could legit make it to be really good. Like I had some shrimp. Well, it's not. I keep saying shrimp. You know, that's what Chinese restaurants did to me. But it was a chicken fried quinoa, and it had some really. It was the best thing I ate all day, and I do not like quinoa. I do not like quinoa.
What's quinoa?
Oh wow.
Ooh.
I have no idea.
Ooh. we need to enlighten you.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know either.
You don't know quinoa? It's a grain. It's much.
It's healthier than rice.
Right?
Yeah, it's
It's
healthier than
protein
rice.
based, so it gives you protein and there's less carbs in it, right?
So it's a rice.
Rice? No, I could
It's
be
not
wrong.
a rice. It's a grain, but similar to rice. People treat it as
It's
rice.
rice. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like circular. It kind of reminds you of couscous, but bigger. You know what couscous is?
Yeah, I know what food.
Okay. We're gonna need some pictures and no, but it's a grain, and a lot of
like
people
it,
make like
exactly.
quinoa salads where they just put like vegetables and stuff in it. But it actually is high in protein, and that's why a lot of people eat it because they want more protein. But it's a grain. You know, it's carb.
I like to eat it with pesto.
Mhm.
I think it's really good with pesto. That's one. See,
Oh
so
wait.
that's what looks like pre-cooked. We're showing him quinoa, and that's what looks cooked. So that's the reason why I said
Never
rice.
seen that before in
That's
my
the reason why I
life.
said rice because you treat it like rice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh okay.
Or like risotto, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Want to see it?
So if you're trying to substitute rice, I'd say put some quinoa. Put
Yep.
some quinoa in there.
Cool.
Right. So do you guys know the cause of most diseases? I want to ask you. Let's see who's been keeping up with science class.
Eating the wrong diet.
Watching
This is
Transformers movies.
Is it a multiple choice questions? Do we get
I feel like cancer is like most probably genetics. so too.
It's actually inflammation.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's actually inflammation, which is the root of so many different problems. And the most inflammation relieving foods are actually plants.
Yep.
From the things like all the greens. Think of the superfoods. All those greens are actually the things you should be incorporating in your diet. And from juicing, something that you should be eating every day is like kale. Like, of course, spinach is good. Broccoli is very good. Asparagus, Brussels sprouts, all those things that people think are not good, they don't like, should be like, are so great. Ginger, you should be drinking ginger tea in the morning. Throw some turmeric in there. All of those things. Those things actually turmeric can actually help you kill cancer cells. And when you go to the doctor, they're not actually telling you this stuff. They're just putting you under radiation.
Ed, you gotta throw me some articles to this stuff, man, because like you're giving me a bunch, like.
It's like
now,
overwhelm, right?
Because like quinoa, I never knew about, and now like.
Actually,
man.
a really good concoction to prevent inflammation and bring it down is hot water, lemon juice, cayenne pepper, ginger, and turmeric.
Yeah,
You put it all together and you turn it into like a tea. It's supposed to be like one of the best like cleansing things to drink in the morning.
Yeah, they also got, like I read an article in the Chinese where they wake up in the morning, they drink warm water.
Yeah.
So I tried it and actually do well.
Oh, the best is honey water, because my friend, because one time I was sick and she's Chinese, and she was like, "Oh, just drink some honey water," and I was like, "What?" And literally all it was just hot water, and it was just some honey, and it was like, and it helped my throat so much, and it's so if you're sick, that's actually a really good thing to help you with.
Yeah, and just how he was mentioning the greens, it's like so many things that are plant-based and fruit-based that were put here on this earth to help you heal. And a lot of people are going to doctors and physicians to treat them, but literally if they treated their body better and ate the right type of things, and literally it's sometimes, we treat it as a science and you got to have this much of this and this much of this. Just have a healthy, balanced diet. Eat greens when you want to eat greens. Try to eat greens every day. Try to eat some fruit every day. Even blueberries are really good for anti-inflammation and things like that.
Antioxidants.
Exactly. So eating what came from the earth is always going to help you. And even like the spices, like he mentioned, like ginger and it's a whole bunch of other ones that have great benefits for your body as well.
Even making like, if you can try, I know it's hard if you have an apartment, but like a mini like herb garden is always so good because because I mean like, you can even just get like one pot and just try and like maybe put it by like the windowsill or something like that, and you put in like, I don't know what you like really want, so you can do like mint or like basil or things like that, just like little things, and like it just helps you with like just like your cooking and being healthy and stuff like that, and it's just like really good.
My mom does that. She actually plants all the peppers and she do everything.
Yeah.
I don't have a green thumb like y'all, but
Like
supermarket provides everything.
And the supermarket does too.
Papaya, mango.
Oh, my dad grows papayas.
Yeah, so I'm like, go in the backyard and get some peppers.
Yeah, literally for me, like I mentioned, you guys, that shake that I make in the morning, because it gets me energy and I feel really good about it because it has the spinach and the kale and I know how good that is for you. And I drink it every morning because it actually tastes good. But I literally get frozen peaches, frozen pineapples, but I will get like the mango slices just because like I don't want to, if you don't feel like you have enough time to actually chop the fruit to make sure the fruit stays good for long by being in your fridge, then okay, just get it frozen. And a lot of people don't know that when you actually freeze fruit, not necessarily other foods, but you freeze in the nutrition, so you're not actually losing the nutritional value because the fruit is frozen. A lot of people don't know that because it happens kind of with other foods, but it doesn't happen the same way because they freeze it at the point of its most like
highest nutrition.
Right, at the highest nutrition. So get some frozen fruit, put it in a shake, and watch your body change, honey.
Oh yeah, because I know I do have frozen strawberries.
Oh nice.
So yeah, I do sometimes I do that, and I might try and put some spinach in and stuff like that and make it more healthier, because I would do vanilla protein shake. I get it at like Aldi's for like one of like those cheaper ones because it can get expensive. Yeah, that's the one thing I'm just like eating, because that's the one thing, eating healthy can get expensive, but if you just go to the right places,
yeah, exactly,
it does help.
And I think even going along with you, sometimes it's hard. People don't like the taste of kale, and people don't like the taste of spinach, so they don't really want to taste it in their shake. So if you guys want to do, like, I know a lot of people are doing protein shakes these days, kind of like meal replacements and things like that. I can't actually have whey protein, so I do a plant-based proteins just because I'm allergic to whey. But I have a shake, and I'll put greens in a vanilla shake, in a vanilla peanut butter shake, because the peanut butter is so potent that you literally cannot taste an ounce of greens. So if you really want to get your greens in, but you don't want to taste like you eating greens, make a peanut butter shake.
When'd you start doing this? It feels like you have like this whole process down. Like when did you start doing this?
It's been a while. Oh gosh, it's been trial and error for a long time, because Leroy knew me when I was like very healthy. I was dancing for the Florida Panthers at that time, so I was like, you know, ripped. I had muscles and I had, you know, everything. So at that point, yeah, he knew me when I was at that stage in my life, and I was doing a lot of protein shakes then, and then at some point I just got really lean, and I stopped and I entered the corporate world, and it was just like everything from there kind of fell apart. And then I was like, you know what, I got to get myself back on track, because I don't feel like I used to feel, and I don't feel like I look how I used to look, because it's like, you know, you feel good, but then you look in the mirror and you're like, man, I'm small, like I don't feel, you know, you just feel different. So as of, I guess, the beginning of this year, it was a process for me to kind of get back on track, start doing the things that I used to do, with actually packing lunches and doing the things that you're supposed to do, and really finding out what tastes good for me. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to be, because when I was cheerleading, I had a strict diet, and it wasn't always stuff that tasted good. But I'm like, I'm at a point in my life where it didn't taste good too. You know, I'm not doing any shoots. I'm not doing any things like that. So it's not, you know, about looking my top tip, like cuts everywhere. You know, it's just about having a balanced lifestyle for me, and feeling good and looking good and things like that. So it was just, I guess, the top of the year, you can say. It doesn't take very long, as you just kind of know.
Did you do all the flips and stuff as a cheerleader?
I did, but that was when I was in college. I did collegiate cheerleading, but on the Panthers, we did mostly like dance cheer.
Oh, okay, cool.
Y'all on the ice.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's very interesting. So when did you start doing all of this? It sounds like you've accomplished a lot, and you look pretty young. So I mean,
I'm an old fart, but it's just, you know.
So
no, let me see. No, actually, gosh, it was a while ago now. I was a Panthers cheerleader in 2010. I went out for the Dolphins, made it all the way to the finals, but then I tore my meniscus.
Ooh.
So then that took out like the rest of my dance career. And from then on, I started training other dancers who wanted to be on professional teams. And now I'm just a full-time makeup artist, because throughout that process of training girls to be on the team, a part of the look is not just your ability to dance, it's the ability to, you know, look personable, be personable, and present yourself very well. So I got really, really, really into the makeup part of the things, and I've always been a very creative person, been good artistically, and then the makeup part just kind of took over my life. Yeah.
Sounds very interesting. I mean, makeup. I know there are women listening, or at least a couple women gonna tune into this later on. So why don't you give us some slate tips right now, like for the skin, for the makeup? Give us some tips, like some practical things they can use right now.
Like I told you, that shake, I'm trying to tell you, if you need to clear up your skin, or if you want to put something good in your body, and you want your skin to look radiant. Right now I look a little sleepy because I lack in sleep, but a lot of times I walk around without makeup because, you know, I don't have any shame about what my face looks like. I don't get a lot of breakouts because of the stuff that I use on my face. And it's simple things. I know like a lot of people who are listening to this are college students. So if it's something that you're like, okay, I want to clear up my face and clear up some dark marks, you don't have to go and get a big acne treatment or spend a ton of money to clear up your face. Cast-Off soap for me has worked the best. I don't know if you guys have heard of like Dr. Bronner's or Ology, the lavender one or the tea tree one for people who have breakouts and dark marks. Literally clear my face up. I went through a point in time where it was like, man, none of the acne stuff was working. My body had just changed, and everything that I was using previously just didn't work anymore. And I have very sensitive skin too, so I was like, man, I can't keep trying a bunch of stuff that doesn't work. So I was like, if you guys know about Cast-Off soap, it's actually made from plant oils, so it's natural.
Yeah.
So putting something natural on your face is what actually cleared it up. And if you have something that's, you know, people have like chronic acne, and it kind of, it's Ology or Dr. Bronner's isn't necessarily going to work for you, but I've found another company that uses organic stuff as well.
Okay.
And they do a freaking amazing job. They're called Banish Acne Scars.
Okay.
And they're like super good. Their products are kind of expensive, but you know they're natural. They have like charcoal mask and things like that, and they have the whole process kind of set out for you. And if you look at their Instagram, you can see like changes on people's skin. That's incredible. So just like to my own regimen, I use the cast out soap, either Ology or Dr. Bronner's, and I will use just a light moisturizer. Something like what is it?
I use Clean and Clear.
Clean and Clear. Does it work for you though?
Actually, it does, because the kind that I have is actually meant for control of acne. So it does help. So like it to me, it makes me feel better. But it's actually I have 2 different types. So for daytime, I have a light one, and at nighttime, just to, keep it more moisturized. I don't know the brand, but it's from Korean Beauty. It's I have no clue the name is. It has a little apple shape to it. And that's the type I like to use at night. But at daytime, I do use the one because I know moisturizing is so important for your skin. Also,
right,
just,
exactly.
It just it goes bad. Just know it's very important to moisturize. Even guys too.
Yeah.
Know to moisturize and also wash your face.
And even if you have oily skin, moisturizing is the key, because why your skin is oily is because of a lack of moisture. So your body is actually overproducing oil. So people were like, oh man, I can't put lotion on my face because my face is already so oily. But it's actually because you're lacking moisture that your body is actually overproducing it.
Actually, if you have oily skin, there's one that you can try. Because I actually tried it the other day at my friend's house. It's like a Lush one. And I think it's meant for people with more oily skin, because you put it on and it's like a paste, and you only use a little bit, and then you put on your skin, and it gets. And
He's
and it feels
overwhelmed.
And, it's like and it makes your skin so soft and moisturized. I think it's made of wax, something like that. I have no clue, but it was like incredible.
Here's the thing: for me and for a lot of people, because I recommend the Dr. Bronner's or Ology soap.
I'm actually gonna try that.
No, try it, because what it does, it balances my skin. It balances my skin, because I had like just regular skin, and sometimes I was get breakouts here and there. I'm so sorry. I know you guys are like, oh my gosh,
these will happen
drowning.
At sleepovers.
But my skin was going through a phase where it changed from natural to oily to dry, and I couldn't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just going crazy. Like I was getting combination skin, and I was getting breakouts, and I was getting everything, and the soap balanced my skin. So now I don't have oily skin. I have normal skin. At one point, I was having dry patches. I don't have dry patches any longer. So it's just, and it's natural. So I'm always for something that's pro-natural.
Where can you buy that at?
Oh, CVS, Walmart.
Oh, really?
Super cheap. Just get the little small one. They have a big one, and I use it actually all over my body. So I use it face and body, and it's just one-stop shop.
Gotta make a trip once I get. Gotta make a trip to CVS once I get home.
The one thing I know for people who have chronic acne, because a lot of acne medicines are meant to pull what's underneath the skin out first. So that's kind of like the problem. You don't really want to go through that step like, dang, I got to look worse to look better. But for me, I didn't have to go through that. So that's
I got to try it out because, and one thing
let me know how it works out.
Yeah, I will, because my one problem is that I have to wash my face twice a day. If I do not, then I will break out. In this summer, I'm kind of breaking out a bit more because I've gotten a little bit lazy. I will be honest. I do have a better regimen when I'm at school, because I'm more focused, oddly enough. But I don't know for some people, but I have to wash it, so I think I'll try that and try and make my skin.
Yeah, just
better.
Use a light moisturizer. I use the simple after, but make sure your face is moisturized. Yeah. If anybody wants to know, anybody have tips, questions, just. I can use the selfish plug. My bad, y'all. You can find me on Instagram at the Makeup Ali, THE. So the Makeup MAKEUP ALI. Ali like the boxer.
Makeup Ali.
Oh, is your nickname Ali? Ali Tube ALI.
Yeah.
You do? Me too.
Yeah, Ali. Yep. So there we go.
So what's everyone's else social media? Go ahead, spit it out, everyone.
I think it's at Brandon Sella. I'm not sure. It should be. Oh man, there was a ghost Brandon Sella that I met the other day. It's okay. So you know how there's like other accounts of the same name. Well, it's Ali Martinez. So there has to be like a bunch of Ali Martinez.
Well, actually, I found one of me. Someone took my pictures from my mom's Facebook.
What?
Oh, wow.
And then made an Instagram me. But the creepiest part, it was me when I was like 10 or 11.
Who is this guy?
I was 12 years old when I made this.
What?
And he found my pictures on my mom's Facebook, because it was a picture of me in St. Patrick's Day. I was like 11 years old, so this is like prepubescent Ali, so I was like, this is the weird, because like my friend's like, I follow you and you haven't followed me back, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And that was
Wait,
weird.
so it was the dude you knew?
I have no clue who it was.
Oh.
That is super creepy.
I was like 12, 13 years old when I found it.
Did you report the guy or something?
I think so. I mean, don't forget, this has been like years from now. But this is when Instagram like first came out.
Oh, okay.
When this happened. So yeah, I was like 13 when Instagram became a thing, I think. So yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Now you guys could follow me
All right, sidetrack.
at Global Fit with 2 T's on Instagram to find fitness tips, workout videos, also nutrition tips, and also funny pictures to make you laugh.
Yeah.
So,
His
there you
Instagram
go,
is
bro.
pretty funny.
So Global Fit, GlobalFitt.
Got some good memes.
Oh, man, gonna make your day, buddy.
Nice.
Mine's Ali, ALI, like Ali _Marie, 1998. Pretty simple. It's a lot of aesthetics, I guess you can say.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think it's Brendan Sella, CELA, or Buscella, BACELA. One of the two.
Someone's gotta look for it
Well,
now.
you know, because there's so many variations and so many accounts, you know, it's like,
It's
like,
okay,
I
have
think
two
I
accounts.
got Brendan Sella on Twitter, which is great, because it's like, oh, just Brendan Sella, bam. But then you have all of these, you know, spawn off Brendan Sellas. Like, there was one on YouTube, I think. So, yes, I remember. I made a YouTube video, shout out to my YouTube account, Brendan Sella. And there was a comment of someone who was also named Brendan Sella. And it was like,
No way, Brandon. No way, Brandon. You're the only Brandon seller in the world.
no, like,
Brandon was like, bro, get off my page. Like, we have the same name, bro. Just go somewhere else and make a comment.
Who named you? Who gave you that name anyway?
Yeah, my name's too popular. If you actually look me up, you cannot find me
oh, look at
anywhere.
you with a popular name.
Oh, no, you want to know why it's popular? Do you know why it's popular? Because there was a murder. When I was 16 years old, I looked up my name, Alicia Martinez, in Detroit, raped and killed by someone
Jesus.
named someone else. I was like, okay, well, I have to work really hard to get that out of my name, because if you look me up, that's what comes up.
Well, this show took a track.
I know, it's a dark
A lot
turn.
of people don't have my name. My name is Leroy White. White with a Y.
Leroy. Leroy sound pretty cool. Actually, you sound like you broke a couple of girls' heart. Leroy broke my heart. It was Leroy. Who did the murder? Leroy.
I'm not even gonna say it. You know, I'm not gonna say it.
Hey, but swine flu.
All right.
But you guys can follow me at CEO Ambitionist. Now, I'm the only one who have this name on all social media platforms because I'm very unique. My name is Edward Gills, by the way. So we're gonna get back to more health, guys. Actually,
I got one.
what you got? What you got?
Relationship health.
Ooh, I like that. That's very interesting. But we're gonna go to that question before we get into relationship health, because I think self-love and how you see your body and perceive yourself also, goes hand in hand with that as well. So before we ask this question, what is your definition of, loving yourself? What is your definition of self-love? Let's start with Leroy.
Definition of self-love. Man. So, yeah, I'm going to give you guys a little story. So, I used to be, I came to America, I gained a lot of weight. I was obese. I used to get made fun of. I actually got into a lot of fights. And I didn't love myself because of that. I was getting in trouble because, I didn't love myself. I was fighting people because they used to talk bad about me, where I should have loved myself and know one day it's not going to always be this way. So, I ended up playing football, losing the weight. Then I started loving myself, and I feel like I should have always been loving myself. But everything happened for a reason. I learned from mistakes. But, I feel like loving yourself really plays a part of, like, that what I'm looking for, self-esteem. I wish, like, a lot of kids that was my age, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, should know how to love themselves, even if they're fat or anything that's wrong with them. Don't take what people say to you and bash yourself. Where in reality, you're probably better than them. I'm not going to lie. Most of the kids that used to make fun of me, I was better than them. I was getting better grades than them.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Well, I was fat, but I feel like, young kids should really just love themselves and don't let words get to them. And back out, a lot of young kids commit suicides because they don't love themselves. I go on Facebook, 12-year-old, she hanging herself, and young kids around 8 years old, he committed suicide.
I know.
So I feel like also we should start with the kids and just let
You always
them,
hear the stories, like
yeah,
yeah.
and just love yourself and just don't let anybody bring you down.
That's so true. I think I also went through the same situation, but in the opposite way. As a kid, I was more of a skinnier kid. I used to be a very good runner. Actually, that's where I got a lot of my confidence. Actually, I got my confidence mostly from basketball. Besides the fact that I was 5'5" at the time, and I wanted to be Michael Jordan.
At 6'6".
And the crazy thing is because I knew I was garbage when I started playing at 12. Not only because people was telling me I sucked, but also I knew I sucked. So I was literally on the court. I was on the court every day. And I think this is where I built my habits of, consistency and hard work, even if you don't make it or expect to make it. Because at my height, I'm like, I'm going to grow. I always had that belief. I'm going to grow. Like, we have the same birthday. It has to happen. Right? So I was a skinny kid. So I was always letting my being smaller as a disadvantage because, other kids who were bigger, would kind of tease you a little bit. Like, oh, you're so small. But it wasn't until I realized, hey, I'm naturally able to get lean. So that's a blessing and not a curse. So I think my self-love came out of realizing that, me being short gave me great defensive skills, great agility. I was a defensive player of the team. I was the hardest worker. I was always that was my award.
You were the Gary Payton of your team.
Probably.
All right, you don't know who Gary Payton is. Cool.
Yeah, I think is he the best? He's one of the best defensive players for sure. I know who that is. I just don't know all the things about him.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But from there on, that's where I really got into athletics was from there. So, and then I didn't realize that, hey, maybe I'm so small, I'm so skinny at that time because, hey, I was a great long distance runner. And that's how my body was built. And then that's when I started running track. And, after my 4 years of running track, I was the most athletic player there. I was got the MVP, actually Scholar Athlete of the Year too that year. Most improved player, MVP for track and cross country. So it wasn't until I used my disadvantage in the eyes of other as an advantage that I really started to love myself. And that's why when I came to college freshman year, I was like, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to change things around. And so I started to go to the gym 5 to 6 times a week. Even 2 a days. And I was eating. At that time, I was not eating healthy, I was just bulking up, eating whatever I can find. And that was my concept of getting bigger, and that was my concept of, getting into fitness as well. So that was my story, and Leroy has a very similar story, and I want to hear from you guys. What's your definition of self-love?
For me, it seems like such a self-explanatory word, self-love, love yourself, but for everybody that's going to mean something different because we all have different insecurities. So if it is that you're small and it's tough for you to gain weight, okay, love yourself where you are, accept that about yourself. And if you feel like, man, I want to change that, I want to get bigger, just eat more food, but do it in a healthy way. If you love yourself enough, okay, yeah, just think about it, give my body more nutrition so it has no option but to grow, and to grow in a good way, not in a bad way. And I have a similar story to you because I've always been relatively small, and in order for me to actually gain weight, I have to eat a lot, and lift. And if I don't, then I'm just gonna be small just because my metabolism is pretty high, and I think it kind of has a little bit to do with genetics, and two, that my diet is actually pretty healthy. But yeah, wherever your insecurities lie, just be like, look yourself in the mirror. I am where I am, and that's okay. If you're willing to change it. If you love yourself enough to change it, change it. It seems like such a simple concept, but people get so afraid to change things or just really don't know how, or, whatever the case is. It's just like being good to yourself. Do the things that make you happy. I think that's a lot part of self-love. Looking in the mirror, knowing what makes you happy and doing that, as opposed to whatever everybody else is either telling you to do or everybody else is pressuring you to do. Loving yourself enough to know and stand in your truth, I think it's super, super important. If you know you love this, you love to do this, this is what makes you happy, these things are not what make you happy, do the things that make you happy.
Also, I have one more thing. Also what helped me was in middle school, I had a teacher. He was also a preacher, Mr. Haynes. Shout out to Mr. Haynes, Addicts Middle. So he used to always, before we start class, he had his own little pledge. I don't remember all of it, but the words that stuck to me to this day was, I am somebody and I am successful. So I feel like some people should use that when they wake up in the morning.
So like yeah, actually doing different sports and stuff really do help with self-confidence and stuff like that, because so me growing up, I was tiny. I weighed literally like 60 pounds for like most of my life until pretty much puberty hit me, and I went from, you know, being a stick to pretty much in a year and a half became a D, almost double D. And that's a scary transition that people don't realize, because people are like, oh, big boobs means great, and you're just like, and people don't fully understand that. And pretty much, you know, you go because you no longer not an extra small. Now you're a medium large in your clothes, and society tells you being small is good and being medium large isn't, which is not good. So pretty much, you know, you kind of get scared and stuff like that. But then over time I go, and because like I think like my sophomore years when I was like the most not healthy of like my life. And then I went, you know, I didn't really gain much weight, but like to my mind it was kind of like, it doesn't really matter in my head until it didn't really matter until my senior year. I started working out, doing weight training at my school, because during like, honestly, I don't know if other people do it, but if you ever take high school, take weight training, because that's such actually a really good class to take, because it does help you just to learn the basics. Because I had a great teacher. My teacher was awesome, and plus not only that, I started taking martial arts. I took Taekwondo. And Taekwondo gives you a really good sense of self-discipline and how to exercise. Even now, I had to stop because of college, but I still do all of the same exercises that I did back in Taekwondo, and I still stretch the same way, because like, so for me, like for self-love and stuff, it's kind of like doing like mini accomplishments. So for example, my goal is to do a split or straddle. I think that's a proper term, but I'll pretty much do a split. That's like my goal. And so you do little things like and you do things like more and more, and you kind of do it. So for other people, you can do like, my goal is to do, you start off with like 10 push-ups. You want to get 10 perfect form push-ups, and you go to 20 and things like that. So like little things of like accomplishments really do help you and be like, yeah, I'm proud of myself. It makes you feel more self-loving and stuff like that. And then also just like looking at yourself and like maybe not looking at the overall picture, but like little things. Like you'd be like, oh, I'm proud of how my legs look. Or I'm proud of how this looks. And maybe that, and you slowly start self-loving yourself in different ways. Obviously, you want your goals to go overall, but if you have like no self-confidence, that's a good way to start. I feel
you're hitting on such a good point. It's just because like celebrating the small successes in life is really what builds, and that's essentially what a goal is. You make a grand goal or a big goal, and you set smaller goals in between to make up that big goal. But even just finding the small successes, like, man, I got pretty toes, you know, like who really cares? Or my calves are nice, or you know, once you start working out, man, my butt is looking good, you know, things like that. You see the small successes, and that keeps you on track to keep going. And really you in turn love yourself, but it's just not about like, you know, always the outside appearance, because if you're just looking for that, you're never gonna be satisfied.
You won't.
What was your bench when you did weight training?
My max? I was actually I can't remember. I know it was over 100.
Nice.
My max.
All right.
That's all I remember. I remember I was proud of it, because I was like, because I actually did a PE class in freshman year, and I did a weight training senior year. And I pretty much had the same teacher, so she kind of basically taught weight training for like PE, which actually was great, because all the other teachers basically, you know, soccer, stuff like that. And like, oh no, we're gonna do the actual workout. So that one was actually pretty cool, because I kind of learned, but I forgot. I learned again. It was like, I think I was like 120, 110, something like that. I can't remember. I can't remember. It's been a while.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that about you.
Oh really?
Accidentally kicked a girl in the face with a soccer ball at weight training.
Well, you showed some, you know, other hate towards somebody else. The opposite of self-love right there.
Oh man. But no, talking about self-love, man. I don't know. It's just like, you know, for me, it's like looking in the mirror, like, and saying, you know, okay, I can deal with this. You know, just, you know, no, honestly, because it's like, you know, genetics, unfortunately, I'm not going to be 6'9", so, you know, there are certain careers I just can't take. I don't have the muscle mass or the athletic ability to do certain things, so you just got to say, okay, what can I do? You know, and just saying, you know, and because still I can look at myself in the mirror and go like, hey, you know, like give myself hyped, you know, because I'll do that. I'll look at myself in the mirror and go, you know, yeah, I can take anyone, you know, like just, you know, just kind of hyping yourself up. I know it's ridiculous, but like, you know, just taking yourself and saying, I can't do some things that other people can do, but I can do other things. For example, you know, just like, you know, I can't jump over, you know, a car or whatever. I can't do athletic things, but like I can go in front of a crowd and, you know, get them hyped up or whatever. You know, I can do things, you know. So it's just about saying, okay, what are the pros and cons, and then how can I avoid the cons that I have so that I can further. This guy Paul Heyman said, you know, it was like, you know, there are the disadvantages and the advantages. You have to say how can I hide the disadvantages, but then show off the advantages that we have. And so, you know, you just gotta show them off, so then hide, you know, what you can't, you know.
Yeah, I think I know this topic is getting like super long, but this is just my last point. I think society kind of helps us to play the comparison game.
Yeah.
So if we don't look as good as somebody that we think looks that good, then it's like, man, you know, we feel a little less about ourselves. But, yo, everybody's an individual for a reason, and that is everyone's superpower. Like, literally, I can never be, you know, Ali. Yeah. I'm Ali, and she Ali, you know? Although we have the same name, like, you know, I'm never going to be able to be you. You're never going to be able to be me. Yeah. So it's just, like, finding what makes you individual in loving that, in showing that to the world, letting that actually be your superpower, letting that be your statement, you know, just loving yourself for exactly who you are, because God made no mistakes when he made you.
Damn. All
right. That's very interesting. That's very interesting right here. The reason why I'm not engaged so much in the conversation is because I'm stuck here.
Ed's fiddling around.
What I'm trying to do is satisfy the needs of this live videos. So I have to let the speaker play, and I can't talk while the speaker play, and I have to keep turning it down. So I want the live audience to go. But if you guys are watching live, go to FAUOurradio.com, and there you can actually listen to us talk and everything both ways, good quality audio. So I'm going to focus more, you know, in getting in the conversation.
Listen to our beautiful voices.
Yeah, because I wanted to cut some people off doing their things, because they were saying some great things. Like Brendan said one thing, go down on your strengths and not your weaknesses. And that was the beauty of it. You're not looking at, am I 6'5", you know, like, but hey, how can I use my 5'6" as you know, like something great. And another thing is, a lot of times, reason why people are not I read this article, and they were saying that self-love is, you should just be satisfied with who you are, and that's how you are. That's how you were made. But that's not true. You were made by your decisions. And the thing is, your decisions have to be, you know, well thought out decisions. How do you make decisions in life? And that's up to you. However, like, what do you want? You know, what's your why in life? What do you want at the end of the day? You got to look at that, and then you got to stop comparing yourself to other people, because that whole article is pretty much about, okay, I'm big, she's not big, so I should be like her. That was the article. It was nothing. It was not focused on the internal factors. It was just focused on the external and comparing. Instead of comparing, hey, am I treating my body right, and am I feeling right? Because there's a lot of people. I'm a trainer, so I hear it all. I just have no energy. I have no energy. Like, I can't go up the stairs. I feel bloated all the time. Just like, things are not good, you know. And when I first start training with people, because I also talk to them about the way they negatively talk down themselves, it's a lot of, like, it's like, shoot. It's like, why are you saying these negative things? And I'm throwing a lot of positivity. And what I always see is a big dramatic change as far as their demeanor and the way that they, you know, how much belief they have in themselves. You know, like, for instance, I had this one client, her name is Farlin. She, at first, she was like, she didn't believe a lot of things, right? But then now, if I'm like, all right, you gonna do 30 seconds? She'd be like, yeah, I can do. What you think? I can do 45. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm like, so that's impressive to me, because that's it's a mental strength. So I think we just need to look deeper within ourselves and not let the noise of society always come into our lives and, like, drown out what's in our own head. What do you want to be? You know, what do you want? I think that's the question. And this whole topic of, you know, self-love and everything really revolves, like, what do you want? And that's the one question in life that we all can't really answer. Like, What do you want? What do you guys want? What is one thing that you want out of your life? Like,
Money.
hey, he's keeping it real.
Straight up.
Straight up.
That's how he feels.
Straight up. How about you, Allie? What you want? What do you want?
For me, I think my goal is to just be successful in my career and to just live my life with my passion and not just settle. That's the one thing. I don't want to settle somewhere. I don't want to settle being a secretary at a dental office. You know, that's not like my goal. My goal is to go and, you know, because like you say, I like to do films and stuff. I don't know what I want to do with my degree because I'm a multimedia major, if anyone doesn't know. And so my goal is to use it. I don't really know exactly how. There's so many different ways you can use it, but that's what I'm have to figure out. So I guess my goal is to be happy every day with my passion and not be bored at work. I think would be the main thing.
Scratch my answer. I'll go with hers.
Oh.
All right.
For me, happiness is key. And that has, you know, it seems like such a simple idea. Yeah, just be happy. Cool for you, you know? No, but it's more of a learning process for me, things that have happened in my life and things that I've learned over time, you know? You come from a place and you're always like, oh man, I need to be successful. I need to be this, or I need to do this, or I need to find the greatest job. I need to marry the perfect guy. And I need to do all these things. But, you know, I'm at a point in my life where I want to design my life the way I want to design it, you know? For me, I worked in corporate America for some time, and it was cool at first. But then it was like, man, I hate this.
What'd you do?
I was marketing and communications director.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was really cool. I did a lot of writing. It was a cool job at first, but it's just, I'm the type of person I can't sit behind a desk.
Okay.
I need to be up. So part of the job was really cool, and part of the job just wasn't. And I have too much of a creative heart, creative spirit, creative hands, creative mind to be stuck there. And I'm like, you know, everybody tells you have to settle with this one thing. I'm in a point in my life where I have my hands in so many different things that it's just like, you like Steve Harvey, for example. He has designed his life the way he wants it to be. He works on multiple shows,
Right.
his own show, he writes books, he does this, and he lives a life by his own design.
Right.
We're kind of have adjusted to the idea that, you know, the world designs how our life should be, and we kind of just sit in it. No, I don't want that. I want to be happy. I want to find the love where I want to find it. I want to be able to go on vacation. I want to be able to travel. I want to do the things that I love to do. I want to use the talents that I have and be an individual. And nobody says that I can't. So I will.
Who are you talking about?
What do you mean? Steve Harvey?
Oh, Steve. Oh, I heard like C40, like, you know, like, no, Steve Harvey. Okay, all right. I thought you were talking about a Star Wars droid for a second. I'm like, okay.
Brandon, you're hearing a lot of things today.
Oh, yeah, you know.
I think that's the other Brandon seller in Instagram.
It's messing with my head.
He's messing with your head right now.
Yeah, for me, happiness is just being happy, being
I
uniquely who I am, and living that.
That's nice. So Leroy.
I just have a list. I'm not gonna go too much, but one thing I want to do is I want to help a lot of people around the world with health and fitness, especially obese kids. Other thing is I want to have an island with a mango tree. And a boat and a whole bunch of big fishes around my island so I can catch and eat.
Actually, the taxes are really expensive with owning an island, and like it's really strict with what was it? Someone was saying like it's worse than HOAs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, someone was saying because
I'll
like
make it work.
That's dope.
So yeah, health for kids, an island, happiness. I want a wife that speak like 2-3 languages.
Why? Why?
So my kids could know
That would be mad confusing, though.
It
As
sounds-
someone who has a
but-
bilingual parent, it doesn't always mean you end up learning the languages.
Also, if you guys get, I'm not saying you guys are getting into a fight, but if you get into a fight, she's gonna throw at you like 3 different types of
Go turn
insults at
me
the same
on.
time.
Oh my life.
I'm like, yes, babe, yes. No,
Jesus, take the wheel. Take the wheel right now.
Oh.
Snap. So she's gonna nag you in 4 different languages. Is what you're trying to say.
I'm like, what are you saying?
I'm just joking.
Well, yeah, I think those are, yeah. But the main thing, though, I want to help. That's like how you want to help people. Just like you're training like me.
Yeah.
Let's bring fitness and health to people that really needs it, not the person that want a big booty and stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, like for me is I could definitely relate to just not. I feel like I'm not one person. I feel like I'm an artist. I create. And as an entrepreneur, when I was young, I was always trying to like start with whatever I had, creating things. And what I've learned after it all, at some point, I got to the point when I got lost. I was like, oh, shoot, I just want to make some money because I'm trying to build businesses because I was an entrepreneur. Like, so it wasn't until building businesses got me to like a downside that I started to focus on building people. And when I was in my midst of darkness, I realized that the biggest thing that you need is just other people supporting you. It's just like, because I was looking for all these resources. So I listened to guys like Les Brown, Eric Thomas. I listened to like every single motivational speaker, every single entrepreneur. I was reading a lot of books. And what I realized was that information changes situations. And so I make it upon myself to live the rest of my life, not really for any other things, but to really inspire, uplift, and motivate other people. And really help them get to their utmost best potential in nutrition, health, and fitness. And as far as the mind goes. And why is that? Because I realized, like, those were the things that really changed my life. And if I could just share that with someone else, everything else will come together. So I realized that when I made that my mission, everything started out to change, right? Because now I'm no longer like focusing on like building a business or building me. Well, I'm focused on building me. So I started doing all these things. I'm like doing podcasts, this radio show, I'm doing different shows. I'm vlogging my life, doing a lot of editing at the same time. I'm managing all aspects of my business, all aspects of my clientele.
And this isn't Doc. I see Ed working.
Yeah.
You know, wow, he's at TV, and I see him. You know,
Yeah.
editing away, and you know.
Right. So I'm doing all these things, and guess what? You know how many views I get on YouTube? Like 50, 20 views. But like the thing is, I'm able to do things even when I get no support. Right. I was able to be on the court even when like I sucked and like I didn't make the team the first year, and then I made it after. But I always learned that even if you're not getting rewarded for what you do, if you do that when you're not getting rewarded, it means that's what you're supposed to do. Right. So like with training, doing mobile training is the hardest thing for me. Because it's not a brick and mortar location, right? So I'm telling you, people, I'm on the first page of Google when you Google personal training, but you think how many of those people convert? Like I'm like the sixth person. Why are they not converting? Because it's a whole different concept. And like, where's the location? The first thing people do is click the maps. They're just trying to figure out where's the location, right? So that makes it hard for my business to come out. But you know what I realized? I realized the things that you have to prove, when you have to prove something, it makes it that much greater. And that's why I like my mission now is just, it's not even building a business. It's really just like help people, inspire others, and everything else for me will fall in place.
All right.
Yeah, so.
That's a really good point. It's really good. Gosh, you said so much that it's like I don't even know where to start. But part of being successful is helping other people along the way. And when you do that, you feel good. And I think it's like a book. I think it's called Goal Giving or something like that. I can't really remember. But a lot of people who have gone far in life, you know, they started from nothing and they couldn't see the goal in sight because things in their life was not changing fast enough for our own eyes. But you don't know what's to come, you know? And along their way, even if they had nothing, they were helping people. And then at some point, there was a point where it's just like Godspeed. Everything happened kind of to fall in place. So I just want to tell you to stay encouraged, if that helps at all. Keep doing what you're doing.
100. That's definitely very encouraged. And I'm just encouraged by people. Just like little things make me happy. And I realize that when I'm not doing what I'm doing now, I'm very like I was in depression mode. I was actually very depressed from like October to December. And what I realized about myself was that I was depressed, but when I showed up to session, I changed. You know, it lit me up. And I go back and I'm like, shit, life sucks. But then, but when I go to session, I'm able to bring out that energy, and I realize that like your passion lights you up. And a lot of people never find a passion in their life, so they never find something to be lit up about. So I think that's like that's the main thing. Just like find your passion.
Preach.
And once you find that passion, you'll get self-love that you need, and you'll stop looking at things at just like numbers. I think you won't scale on the way. You're not gonna step on the scale and be like, oh man, just because this is 180, I'm not at 160, that my life sucks. You're gonna be like, yeah, this is 180 right now, but I've worked out way more than the person who's 140 over there, haven't done a nothing exercise. You know, I'm active. I'm actually trying to eat right. I'm actually taking the steps, and like once you see that, you know, I feel like you have a passion behind it more.
And for something for people who kind of feel like they had a passion and it's kind of wavering a little bit, and you're like, is this really what I want? Something that can help you is maybe take a break and then do what got you started in the start. So like different things. So like for example, for me, when I like photography, and then I went to film, but I kind of so I took a break from it. But then I would start taking pictures again, but of different things, because before it was, different. I was younger, and then I'd do different things, and now I enjoy it again. So maybe for some people who had a passion, say it's like music, and it faltered because, maybe pressure, maybe you're in an art school, or maybe you're in like marching band, I don't really know, and you just feel like it's faltering. You can always go and just take a moment and just take a break, and then play a piece or play something that got you in the beginning. It doesn't even have to be music. It can be something less artsy. I don't know. But, just maybe just take a break and just kind of think it over and just kind of go back to the beginning, and that can always help you.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So that's we're about to conclude the show. Before I go, I want to ask you guys one question. 21 Savage or Migos? Which one?
None.
21 Savage.
Yeah, 21 Savage or Migos?
Yeah.
Migos. I don't know.
Migos?
No heart. X.
No heart?
Come on. Yeah. Bank account. Come
I
on.
like that
Come on,
DJ
come on,
Khaled.
come on.
Wait, I'm lying. That's not the song.
Tupac.
Tupac.
Migos.
M.
Goes back in the day.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
Oh man, no love for Vanilla. Oh.
Ice.
Baby.
You live in Orlando right now.
No, he's in Wellington.
You moved to Wellington?
Yeah, he's in Wellington now. I know, oh my god, I know someone.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning into the Unlimited Power Show. Today was a very interesting day, very interesting topic. And I really like for you to tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. I'm sorry to cut you off there, Ali. But I already had the music going. Yeah, so tune in every Friday, 1 p.m. You guys were really absolutely amazing. I would definitely love to have you guys here on the show again. We'll pick a different topic, send me some ideas. I'm just trying to build something, trying to make something happen. All right, so any final thoughts here?
I love this show.
Follow your passion.
Follow your passion.
Vanilla Ice
make
is
it
apparently
Have
in Orlando.
self-confidence.
Have self-confidence.
Let's do
Stay
it.
healthy and strong.
Yes. Thank you for tuning. Thank you for tuning in to the Unlimited Power Show. You have a blessed day.